She's Haley.
And they're Gray.
And this is the bond bringing you Pied Piper Podcasting. Discord facts. These are the best written fanfics I've ever read. Read it and weep. Ooh woo. A worm? They squirm. Oh. Got 99 problems, but these ain't one. Cloudy with a chance of great fix. Fave fix found. No, because there's literally too many.
No, keep going.
No.
No, you started.
I don't think I will.
You started.
Vigilante Zuki, because why the hell not? The Unitary. Stories that deserve more. Okay, deserve more what? More than 34,000 kudos? More than 9,000 bookmarks? More than 1 million hits? What more do you deserve?
Hey, that was like
more collections?
That was one of the early ones. More collections is crazy.
It does not deserve more collections. Bro needs less.
Great, I need you to find the one that with like it has stars, okay, and it says Little Red's BNHA library, and then the one directly after that. I want you to read it.
Shooting and crying, but in a good way?
It's so good. It's so good.
Okay.
Like me for real. That'll become relevant later.
Will it?
Yes.
What does it mean?
I guess you'll have to find out in...
I guess I will. Damn.
I don't know, at least like 20 to 30 chapters. You know what I realized?
What?
I don't think anyone watched to the end of last week's video. And you know why?
I hate you.
Because my comment section is wonderfully...
No, absent. I know! What's up with that? Where the bitches at?
It's
Where?
Wonderfully absent of your terrible...
No, because why?
What does CA stand for? What does CA stand for? Wonderfully absent. And you know what? I really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart.
That's evil, and you should all die. Who said that?
I think you said that, actually.
No, I think that's just how it is.
As of recording this, today is the 6-year anniversary. That's crazy.
Shit.
That's crazy.
Wait, even more reason to do this today and not like tomorrow.
Even more of a reason to record this on...
Guys, there's like
Wednesday, May
so
14th, 2025.
Okay.
When I started writing Piper, I was updating weekly. And that's the only reason we met Dippy. Did you know? Because Dippy, the freak...
Dippy is a life not worth living.
The freak that she is had no AO3 account. No, literally. Account, and was surviving in the recently updated fix. Because she did not know how to sort by kudos. Oh my god.
That's crazy.
She only found out how to sort by kudos like within the last year because we told her.
Raw dogging AO3 the exact is crazy definition. To me. Like no filters.
No filters.
Did she use filters at all?
She didn't know how to. She didn't know how to. She was stuck in the recently
If she didn't
updated.
Use the other stuff, then surely she wouldn't have.
Yeah, she was.
That's crazy.
She was in recently updating, and the only reason she found mine was because I was updating every Tuesday when she was like on a bus.
Thank you.
And thank God.
Bro was just on a bus.
Thank God for Tuesdays.
Thank you, 20-year-old Haley, for updating weekly. I didn't like saying that, actually.
Was I really?
Yeah, girl.
Oh my god, I was.
In 2019, you were 20.
Oh. That's crazy.
Oh, brother.
Oh, brother.
Ooh.
Brother. You know, it would make sense that me being 26, 6 years ago, I would have been 20.
No way.
You know,
no way. Wait a minute.
Crazy.
No, surely not.
Crazy concept. Are we ready to begin?
Yep. Chapter 2, Event Horizon.
Author's note, trigger warning, brief mentions of suicide and bullying. When Izuku gets back, dinner is already on the table. He scrubbed the tear tracks from his cheeks before coming in, but he hadn't been able to check whether his eyes were red or not. He's sure they are, but there's no hiding it now. Izuku's hands tremble slightly, and he feels like the life has been drained out of him right along with his dreams. The katsudon Inko made tastes like the sand from Dagba. And it doesn't take his mother long to notice something's wrong with him when he's picking at his food the way he is. Izuku?
Bro eating sand? Did bro eat sand?
No, bro did not eat
mean?
sand! It tastes
no,
like
but he
sand!
said tastes like the sand from Dagba. Is bro eating
like
sand? Why does he know what that tastes like otherwise? He's eating sand!
It's a saying. It's a saying. It tastes like sand in his mouth.
No, bro was eating sand.
Oh my god.
Bro was one of those
You're
toddlers that shoved fistfuls of sand into his mouth.
You know what? Maybe. Hopefully it wasn't Dagobah's. Dear God.
No, that's why he's got issues.
That's why he's got issues. Oh my gosh.
Bro was eating Dagobah's sand. Yeah. Okay, keep going, keep going.
Crazy,
keep going.
Crazy. Izuku? Oh my god. I can't take myself seriously. Oh
You
my
got
god.
this.
I'm so glad we're not doing this as a serious podfic or something.
This live or oh?
Izuku? Did something happen? You came home later than usual. The boy wants the ground to open up underneath him. Wants the black hole, whoa, in his chest to suck him in.
Whoa.
Wants it to grind him into atoms like he never existed in the first place. But his mother stares at him, eyes prompting him to respond. He contemplates lying to her. He contemplates leaving the letter somewhere she'll find it just so he doesn't have to tell her himself. His shoulder throbs from the burn Bakugo had left him with, and his eyes ache from all his crying. Izuku had been told to kill himself today.
Whoa. He's just like you. Oh.
I'm sorry, that's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny.
That's not funny.
It's not funny.
Haley, that's not funny.
It's not funny because he'd been rejected from his dream course at his dream school.
Segue? End it. Also, I'm so not used to black hole being 2 words.
I know! I can't tell you how many times I
Weirdo.
I think I posted a chapter for a different fic that was called Black Hole.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to go back and fix it because I made it 1 word.
Nobody likes that.
Yeah. He's 15 and all he wants to do is go lay down and cry some more. Maybe not talk for a few days and enjoy the silence it offers him. He just wants to stave off his mother's pitying look. He feels like throwing up. I got a letter from you. Oh my god, my voice. Oh my god.
The voice crack, keep that in.
Oh.
Damn.
I got a
funny
letter.
as fuck.
I got a letter. I got a letter from you,
They told me to kill myself.
No.
They told me to kill Suki. Kacha. Anyways.
I got a letter from you, I got a letter from you, Okay, no, hold on. I'm calm.
You got
I got a letter from UA. They said hello? I can't, okay. I got a letter from UA. They said I should try applying for another course. He doesn't tell her that they rejected him. He's not sure he could bring himself to say it if he wanted to. Izuku sniffles, running his jacket sleeve under his nose. Ugh. Tears blurring his vision as the boy stares down at the bowl of katsudon in front of him. He can hear the scraping of a chair on the kitchen tile, but refuses to look up as he wipes furiously at his eyes. Inko kneels down on the floor next to him, gently taking his hands between hers. Izuku can feel her fingers trembling around his and turns to look at her. There are tears in her eyes as she stares at him, her face stricken with grief. I'm so sorry, Izuku. I'm okay. He flinches at the words. Memories of a 4-year-old Izuku bubbling up within them. The words aren't one he wants to hear, not what he needs. But he doesn't blame her. Not with the face she's making. Not with the tears that are darkening the edges of his shorts when she bows her head. He's never blamed her. Doesn't think he could if he tried. His mother's crying for him. For his dreams that the world had crushed so ruthlessly. How could he blame her for that? He'd look back on this moment in the future, thankful for her words despite the pain they'd brought with them. It was those words that inspired him to save others. Those words that inspired him to prove the rest of the world wrong. Those words that kept him running. But for now, he stays home, doesn't go to school for the rest of the week, doesn't even drag himself to the dojo to train, doesn't see the point to it anymore. He wakes up to nightmares during these days. Even his afternoon naps are plagued by ruthless dreams. It starts with Yue's rejection letter, the nightmare acting as some sort of mordant parody of Harry Potter.
What? What? What does that mean? Where did your audio go? Girl, answer me. What does that mean?
I got so loud that it stopped picking me up. Can you hear me?
What does that mean?
Well, I don't know.
You don't know?
So, like, you know in Harry Potter, you know in Harry Potter, when Hagrid's like sending all those letters to like Harry's house. And,
yeah, and there's like a million.
Yeah, and the other family just keeps ignoring them. I think that's what I was going for. Only this time he's the one hiding the letters, and Bakugo's the one playing the role of Hagrid.
Really dreamlike, yeah.
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah. Storming into their apartment in the dead of night with a sharp smile and a "you'll never be a hero." When his dreams aren't about the letter.
Wait. Bro is like 14. There's no way his voice is that deep. Bro is 14.
I'm sorry.
Be so serious.
Sorry. My bad.
You keep making
my
his
bad.
voice so like gravelly and low, and you're like, I'll never be a hero, Deku. Like, there's no way his voice is that low.
You'll never be 14. A hero.
Give him a voice crack or something. I don't care.
Be a hero.
You'll never be a hero, Deku.
Okay, yeah.
Anyways, continue.
Yeah, okay. When his dreams aren't about the letter, he usually finds himself standing at the top of buildings. This time it happens. No. The first time it happens, he's alone, standing on what looks like his middle school's roof. He's watching the sunset when it begins morphing into one of Katsuki's explosions, and the boy comes flying out of the horizon with a grin on his face. I'm so glad I got to read Katsuki's name. Crazy. Another nightmare has his mom there crying, telling him how sorry she is, and he doesn't know how he can tell, but she's not mourning for his dreams in this version. They're tears of disappointment. Disappointment in him, in herself for giving birth to a quirkless child. In the dream, her sobs turn to laughter.
I'm just thinking of childbearing hips.
Oh my god.
Anyways.
Why? Because I said the words birth and child in the same sentence?
Yes.
Yes. In the dream, her sobs turn to laughter. I knew you weren't good enough. You'll never be good enough. He finds himself stepping off the edge of the building. Oop. 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 He
Oh,
jerks
bro
awake
should go
before he
see
can
a
hit.
therapist. If only
No,
there's a
it's okay.
therapist in this story that he
Oh
might
my god,
see.
if only there was a therapist
Someone who
in
might even be in the tags.
45 chapters.
Whoa! Guys, we'll see you there in
Crazy.
45 weeks.
Crazy. We'll have to
Oh,
count. We'll
I
have
didn't
to
like
count.
saying that.
We'll have to,
Brother,
yeah.
Be
He
old
jerks
by
awake
then.
before he can hit the ground, throwing himself out from under his sheets and clutching at his chest as he chokes back a sob. He knows it's not real, knows that her words had been a result of his stress, but the dream had felt so real, too real for him to look her in the eye. Midoriya needs to get out. She doesn't mean to, but the sad look his mother keeps giving him every time he comes out of his room is sickening. And now he can't even look at her without remembering the nightmare. I knew you weren't good enough. You'll never be good enough. Whoa!
Quoting the thing that it just happened.
Oh
2
my
paragraphs
god!
ago.
Listen, it's gonna happen.
Whoa.
It's gonna happen a lot. Maybe.
And I'm gonna
I don't
comment on
actually
it
remember.
every single time.
You better.
Because that's what I do.
You better.
That's what I do best.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's your turn.
My turn!
Your turn! Popcorn! Popcorn!
Did my yippee pick up?
Barely.
I'll try again. I think that one did. I saw my mic light up. Pretty decent.
Yeah,
bit.
no, yeah. I heard that one.
Okay. Where am I going to?
Um,
Oh, where are the page breaks?
there aren't any.
Yeah. I
read
could
until
go
he
to
doesn't
a
stop running.
cockroach.
A cockroach? A cockroach? Where is there a cockroach?
Mind your business.
Okay, read until a cockroach.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But he holds out, trying to rein in the residual fragments of the dream. Inko makes onigiri for lunch, and he tries his best to forget. That afternoon, he's pulled from a nap into a new nightmare. His nightmare! If it's just as ridiculous. Okay.
Yeah.
One where Izuku finds himself at the top of UA. It's dark, the barest glimmer of starlight bleeding through Tokyo's sky. The boy never turns around, but there's an understanding that something's waiting behind him. Something dark, something insatiable. Something that would readily consume him if given the chance. You're a useless, quirkless thing, it hisses, not even deserving of the title human. His legs begin moving without him, and Midoriya's heart rate spikes as he tries to stop. But fighting against it is like fighting against gravity. God!
Whoa!
The space references,
gravity!
they're non-stop! They're non-stop!
Girl, I was in the middle
I wonder why.
of a space science class in college.
Yeah.
In the middle of it.
You're
I
not
was
special.
in the dregs.
I had an astronomy class. You're not special.
Yeah, you're cringe.
Anyways. You're cringe!
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
We're literally sitting here reading my fic. You think I don't know that?
Well, hey.
Hey.
No, they would be over for me. I would be reenacting one of his nightmares if this was frustrating one of my dreams.
Yeah.
His legs pull him to the roof's edge until there's no longer anything solid beneath his feet, and the earth begs him closer. His body obeys. He tries screaming, but his vocal cords...
Oh my god.
You sounded the cockroach!
Wait!
The cockroach! Okay, scroll down a bit. It's one of the quotes. He tries screaming, but his vocal cords are unresponsive. Above him, the stars grow further, and he can hear Bakugo's laughter through the wind, roaring past his ears. No, I got this.
You got this.
No, I can't.
I better hear a voice crack in there.
I got it. I want victory right now. Okay, I'm
yeah, just channel it.
A useless, quirkless idiot. Okay. A useless, quirkless idiot. A Deku.
Yeah.
Okay, that was good.
Yeah,
That was
good.
good.
That was good. That was
No,
good.
that was good.
That was a
That was
good
good.
one.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Midoriya snaps awake on the couch, throwing himself up and into a seated position. Most of his nightmares have him waking up with either tears on his cheeks or adrenaline in his veins. Some nights he wakes up with his sheets on the floor or crumpled at the end of his bed and tangled in his feet. Some days it's not so bad, other days it's terrible. This is one of those other days. Izuku hunches over himself on the couch, shaking hands clamped between his knees and head bowed over his lap. He squeezes his eyes shut and pinches his mouth closed, trying to purge his mind of the images and the words and the sensation of falling. He remembers the presence behind him and tries to shove it away, tries to lock it in a box with all of his other bad thoughts. But its voice lingers in his head even after the nightmares has faded. Like it's stuck its maw out of the box's lid before Midoriya has managed to fully close it. I hate how you switch between Midoriya and Izuku. I hate it. I'm sorry, I hate it.
You're gonna have to deal with it for quite a few more chapters.
That's awesome. I love that. I love that.
Yeah,
No,
you
that's
love
awesome.
that. You love that.
I really do.
Thank
That's
you,
like
one random commenter who was like, I hate that you do this.
The 15-year-old lets out a shaky breath and leans his head against the back of the couch. He stares at the ceiling, tracing the shadows there in an attempt to further calm himself. The nightmares leave him restless and tired, the disturbance of his sleep slowly eating at what's left of his sanity after the last few days. Midoriya can hear Inko in the kitchen, the barest hint of curry spice filling the air of the small apartment. It's usually a comfort, but now it only sets his senses on fire. Me as fuck. Me as fuck when I'm overstimulated.
Whoa. Me when I was eating that dog hog.
That dog hog.
That dog
That damn
hog.
dog hog.
That dog hog.
That dog hog.
That
hog. I'm sorry.
Look what you've done.
I'm sorry.
You spiraled us.
I'm sorry.
You spiraled us.
I'm sorry. You started it. You said dog hog. You know that's a trigger word. Anyways, his dream from last night begins resurfacing, merging with the presence, and it's.
Merging
with
disparaging.
No. The presence? Or do you mean the present?
The presence. The present.
What does that mean?
I think it's like
of what?
I think like there was a thing in his nightmares that he described as a presence behind him. I think it's that.
Okay.
I think it's that.
Okay. I'll accept it. It's awkward, but I'll accept it.
Yeah, I'm just like me.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Merging with the presence and its disparaging words until the memory of his mother's voice becomes distorted and is replaced. The voice isn't hers anymore, but words still spill from her mouth. I knew you were useless. Oh, the defective creature! You're not worthy of the title human. Whoa, popcorn! I guess you get to say cockroach.
Cockroach? I don't know where the cockroach is.
Girl, okay, I guess it'll be a surprise.
I guess it'll be surprised. Okay. I'll just pick a spot to stop eventually.
Okay.
Izuku wants to scream. More tears burn at the corners of his eyes as his strength dissolves. I can't be here. He pushes himself up on shaking legs and stumbles towards the door, pulling on his shoes and leaving without a word. He hears a muffled "Izuku?" through the door as he staggers down their apartment steps. Their door opens behind him, Inko's head peeking out. "Izuku?" He ignores his mother's calls, continuing down the stairs before breaking out into a dead sprint as soon as he reaches the ground. He doesn't stop running.
He's so edgy.
He's so edgy. Midoriya heads further into the city as street lamps flicker to life around him. The boy shoves through the rush hour traffic like he's possessed, like he's being hunted. People send him wary looks as he rushes by, checking behind the boy for pursuers that they'll never find. There's only one person who actively tries to stop him. A hero that a distant part of Izuku's mind registers as Ingenium.
Whoa.
Ingenium. The hero manages to snag his arm as he runs by, pulling him to a halt. The boy's winded, but his mind still tries to drag his feet forward. Are you alright? Midori's eyes are glazed over, his body busy trying to outrun the demons in his head. Oh my god! Oh!
It's not picking me up. I'm doing the voices!
The voices! The voices! Hit me with my voices for real.
Mm-hmm.
Except my voices are just Cantina music. Where was I? There I am.
Are you alright? No. Whatever.
No. His body busy trying to outrun the demons in his head.
Stop.
He heaves his arm from Ingenium's grasp and continues his race. The hero gives chase, but the 15-year-old is nimble and can't use his quirk in crowded areas like these. He quickly loses sight of the boy within the crowd and slows to a halt, cursing under his breath. Brother, can I just say, why is a 15-year-old outrunning the pro hero with the speed quirk? Crowd or not, it's not happening. Izuku keeps running until the voices in his head have been reduced to a mere whisper. Oh my god. There's a stitch in his side that he tries to walk off when he finally stops, hands resting on his hips and head thrown back trying to catch his breath. Above him, the sky is pitch. He's in a part of town he doesn't recognize. The buildings around him worn down, windows slathered in grime and... Ew, I hated the word slathered there. That was gross. Windows slathered in grime and the bricks growing moss at their seams. There's a corner store across from him whose windows are pasted over with faded advertisements. One that he hopes has a decent bathroom where he can splash some cold water on his face and a cashier he can beg directions from. The boy gives himself... What are you watching?
Duolingo has this new chess thing. Where they teach you chess.
Duolingo! Why is Duolingo teaching you chess?
It's teaching you chess!
Why is it teaching you chess?
Probably one of the AI features, if I'm being so honest. Which sucks.
The boy gives himself a moment more to catch his breath before crossing the street. His mind isn't completely put together yet. The whispers of that toxic voice still there. But it's quieter now. More manageable. The cashier is sweeping when he enters, but she still offers him a quiet greeting. There's a father and daughter that he passes on his way towards the bathroom, and he gives the little girl a tired smile as he passes. He misses the wide-eyed look she gives him. In the bathroom, he splashes water on his face, cooling his flushed cheeks. When he looks in the mirror, the fringe of his hair is wet and drips water down his face. He brushes the fox tears away and... That's faux, isn't it?
The fox.
The fox.
You even have
Is
fox
that faux?
tears.
I didn't even realize I was pronouncing it wrong in my head. All this time.
You're a freak.
Yeah.
You're a weirdo.
He brushes the faux tears away and pokes at the dark circles strung beneath his eyes. His gaze flickers up to his hair again, and if the light hits just right, he can see just how badly it needs to be washed. Me for real. He grimaces. He's still in the same set of clothes from this morning. A pair of basketball shorts he usually wears to bed and a plain t-shirt that's soaked with sweat and a splatter with small bit of food from lunch. Hello?
Splattered.
And a splattered with a small bit of food from lunch. Okay.
With a small bit of food. Small bit of food. Small bit of food.
Not
please,
even a.
Please.
Small bit of food.
with small bit of food from lunch.
And a splattered with small. And a splattered. I can't even say it right.
And a splattered with small bit of food from lunch.
And a splattered with small bit of food from lunch. A cockroach draped in human skin.
Personally, what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
In all honesty.
Yeah. Yeah. Your turn, popcorn.
Izuku flinches at the words before letting his eyes close and taking in a shaky breath, trying to push the voice further into the back of his mind. He lets out a deep sigh before grabbing a paper towel and wiping any remaining water from his face. When he steps out of the bathroom, he feels a bit better. He's cooled down and his breathing has finally evened out. He's just stepping out when the little girl from earlier runs into his legs, clinging to the hem of his shorts. He watches water build in her eyes, and Midoriya blinks at her in shock. He quickly crouches in front of her as she lets go and scrubs at the tears on her cheeks. "He's not my daddy," she whispers. What? Izuku's... What? Do you have something you want to say?
No, nothing.
So when you do voices, it's fine, but when I do them...
It's not even the voice, it was just what she's,
Saying daddy? Yeah. Yeah, you would laugh at that, you fucking 12-year-old.
It says you! You're literally 12.
Brother.
They're
gonna start thinking I actually am. You called me like 5 years old in 2010 the other day, or whatever, 2012.
Listen.
13 it was.
You're just a little guy.
I am, but I'm not a young guy.
I'm not a young guy, is crazy.
Young man. Da 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 da. Young man. Neither of us know the lyrics.
Out the crowd, I say young man.
Said young man. It's fun to say it's the YMCA. It's fun to say it's the YMCA. You can do it. You can do it. I think it's safe to say that neither of us know the lyrics besides YMCA.
So you know that song?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So you know that song?
Okay. Well, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Why? You're gonna make me say daddy like 3 more times?
I have to repeat it.
You can't laugh at them. You can't laugh
I'm
at them.
I'm not.
You're not?
I'm not.
Stone face.
I'm stone face.
Weirdo. Freako.
Nuh-uh.
What?
I found the picture.
You guys so sidetracked. What? Izuku's brain grinds to a halt. He took me from my daddy. I want to go home. The tears start back up again, and he pulls the girl into his chest. That picked up, right? I went kind of high-pitched.
Yeah.
Okay. Who? He gets himself off, glancing around the store. The store. The man you were with? She nods against his chest. Does your daddy... Okay. Does your daddy know you're with him? Izuku peeks around the corner of the short hallway the bathrooms are in, looking for the man he'd seen earlier. The boy spots the top of his head towards the back of the store. No. That was better. No.
There you go.
Midoriya turns back to look at the girl, a mix of worry swirling in his eyes. Alright, we'll get everything sorted out, yeah? Everything is happening too fast. His mind running faster than he can keep up as it tries to determine what to do.
Oh god. Yeah.
Avery, where were you?
Avery, where were you?
Avery, please.
Avery, where were you?
Possible kidnapping situation. I need to contact the police and let them confirm the situation, but my phone is still at home. Police station? He doesn't know if they'd be able to make it across the store without being seen. Okay. I was about to say, okay, and if they did get spotted, he wouldn't be able to run that far with her after his mad dash to Musatafu. Even if I could, I don't know where I am or where the police station is. I really thought they were like across from police station for a second there. I'm like, why would you, as a kidnapper, go to the store across from the fucking police station? Because that'd be crazy. His eyes catch the cashier, who's moved behind the counter to straighten the items there. He waves at her wildly until he's caught her attention, frantically pressing a finger to his lips when she looks like she's about to speak. Midoriya checks that the man hasn't moved before he takes the girl's hand in his and rushes towards the counter. Be better to avoid confrontation. Keep her out of sight. I need you to take her and hide. Call the police. I think the man she was with abducted her. He keeps his voice low and continues throwing glances over his shoulders to check where the man is. Amy? Midoriya's head whips around to see the man's brown hair peek over the aisle closest to the exit, heading their way. The girl goes limp in Izuku's arms as he quickly picks her up and swings her over the counter, where the wide-eyed cashier takes hold of her. His hands shake as he passes the girl. Get down, Midoriya whispers before ducking behind the end of a nearby aisle, his heart racing. Amy, where'd you go?
The bathroom, but it's Emmy! It's Emmy!
Why would it be Emmy?
I don't know, but that's how I pronounced it in my head.
No, that's literally Amy.
Is it?
Amy. Amy.
A. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I'm gonna say Rio, too. Amy.
No! 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 I will end this podcast. We will not go another episode.
Teehee.
Mm-hmm.
Amy, where'd you go? Midoriya can hear the Amy, where'd you go? Midoriya can hear the agitation that he's trying to mask. The boy takes a calming breath before casually stepping into the aisle that the kidnapper's in, pretending to study a bag of chips to his right. Hey kid, have you seen a little girl in here? Izuku puts on a surprised face when he turns towards the man. Not since I came in. The 15-year-old looks around for the girl he knows isn't there, masking a grimace when he sees the head of the cashier quickly peek over the counter, a phone pressed to her ear. Do you need help looking? There's a frown that flickers across the kidnapper's face. No, it's fine. Thanks for the offer, though. Kidnappers can't be polite. What the fuck?
Well, except they can when they're trying to be not suspicious.
Nuh-uh. Don't be suspicious.
Listen,
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
You think every kidnapper kidnaps people by being evil?
They do.
To their face?
They do.
Oh. Okay.
You want some candy, kids? Get in the car! Get in the car! Get in the van! Wait, do you know the get in the van thing? Clip?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
No? Why'd you say yeah then? You fucking liar.
Well, I thought I did, but like, I don't actually know.
It's the dub thing of this like monster idol girl anime where it goes, get in the van! And then it's really funny. You'll have to look it up and then insert the clip. The man shoves his hands into his coat pockets, and Midoriya tenses for a possible fight, but he simply walks past the boy and towards the door. Suddenly, Izuku's torn. The kidnapper is obviously ready to abandon the girl, given the wary glance he throws at the cash register. Yet something in Midoriya says not to let him get away. Something tells him that he'll just try again with another little girl, on another day, in another convenience store. Only next time he'll succeed. His eyes strike back towards the counter where he knows Amy and the cashier are hiding, then back to the kidnapper as he gets closer to the door. He's ready to charge the man as he goes to push the door open, pauses. I could be putting those two in danger. He'd be dealing with an unknown skill set, unknown weapons, and an unknown quirk. But, he thinks, heroes deal with that same unknown every day. You're not a hero, his mind hisses. You'll never be a hero. In the end, the decision is made for him, because the man doesn't go to open a door. He goes to lock it. The soft click it makes has Midoriya immediately on edge, muscles tensing and stance shifting. Hurry, brat. Come out before I kill everyone. There's a muffled whimper from behind the counter, and Izuku can't tell if it's from the cashier or Amy. Either way, it brings a manic grin to the kidnapper's face that has Midoriya's blood curdling. You can't save anyone. You're just a Deku. This isn't a dojo. People fight back with quirks here. Your turn! Popcorn! Poppy, poppy, popcorn.
Okay. Here we go. Clap, clap. Maybe in another universe, he could have been able to say that his feet moved on their own. Maybe in another universe, he could say that he didn't hesitate because of the voice in his head. But maybe in another universe, that voice wouldn't have sent him running halfway across the city. Wouldn't have brought him here. Maybe in another universe, he might not have saved them. In this one, he will. He's tired, limbs shaky, whether from fear or overuse, he's not sure. But his body doesn't fail to respond to the threat, his training ingrained too deeply to let fatigue weaken his punches or buckle his knees. Having a staff on hand would have been preferable, if only to put some distance between him and his opponents. But life is hardly so accommodating. Instead, he settles for the broom the cashier had left out. It's scarcely a suitable replacement, but it'll give him the distance he needs. Midoriya points the broom handle at the man, the other end tucked securely beneath his arm. Stay where you are. Would you like to voice the kidnapper?
The hell are you gonna do with the broom?
There's a cocktail of fear and determination swirling in the boy's eyes as the edges of his lips tick upward in a wobbly smile. I wonder. Ugh.
Brother,
You know, I want you to know that I distinctly remember writing this scene specifically because I got the broom out and started.
Oh my god. Stop.
Watching
Stop. You're cringe. You are cringe.
I remember standing in the living room just like doing that in front of my family. Anyways.
Okay. The man lunges, and Izuku spins on the ball of his foot before bringing out the end of the broom from under his arm and slamming the brush cap into the side of the man's face. There's a satisfying crack of plastic against bone, and a rewarding grunt of pain from the kidnapper. I've already taken the time to call the police, so I suggest you either stay here and wait politely, or I can make you. Okay.
Oh.
He's that guy? Hashtag guy?
Hashtag that child?
Bro's 14.
Yeah,
Bro's 15.
I think it said 15 somewhere, but
it
like canonically I think he's like 14. Yeah.
Midoriya falls back into a defensive position Midoriya falls back into a defensive position as the attacker cradles his face. Izuku can see a thin stream of blood sliding between the man's fingers as he looks back at the 15-year-old. You're gonna regret doing that. Do you want to keep going, or do I need to?
I think I can do it now.
Okay.
I think I can do it now. Okay. Am I? Because I'm honestly feeling pretty satisfied at the moment. It feels like someone has mangled his brain-to-mouth filter, and he's left to wonder how those words came out of the bumbling, fear-steeped chaos that is his mind. The casual smirk on his face feels like it's made of thin glass, and his legs tremble undetectably despite his outwardly calm appearance. The man charges at him with his right fist drawn back. His face is twisted with fury as blood drips from a split above his brow. His form is sloppy, but Midoriya recognizes the power behind his punch. There'd been no obvious physical manifestation of the man's quirk, and Izuku hadn't noticed any indication that he's activated one. So he leads his counterattack with the broom cap again, slamming the hard plastic into the slight bone protrusion on the kidnapper's wrist when he extends his arm.
Slight bone protrusion? That's such a weird... Ugh.
I know! Hey, but you know exactly the spot I'm talking about.
I know what you mean! I'm touching it on my arm right now, but like...
Too detailed! It's too detailed! Why was I like this? As I get better, I promise. Like I get mentally well, I promise.
Ulna? I think that's the ulna.
Ulna? I don't know. Your Molna.
Okay. These ulna.
The impact is followed by a sharp cry of pain. Wait, no.
You skipped a sentence.
Pushing it off course as Midoriya goes to sidestep the blow and lands. The impact is followed by a sharp cry of pain and muttered curses.
Motherfucker,
the man
bitch,
cradles his
bitch-ass
wrist to
little
his
pussy.
chest. Whoa!
That's
Hey,
muttered curses. I'm a voice actor.
Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself
The
because
cringe?
you're about to have to cut in.
I've already read ahead.
No, you're about to have to cut in.
Okay.
You're about to have to cut in.
Okay, I'm ready.
Be on your game. Be on your game.
I'm ready.
Okay?
I'm ready.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, SpongeBob.
I'm ready! 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 I'm ready!
Whoa. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe it's because of the stress of the last few days, or maybe it's the buildup of unreleased spite that makes his mouth words. That all you got?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His fear is slowly being replaced by anger. You know, I've been having a pretty
shitty
week. I got told to kill myself, got rejected from the hero, and I've been kept up by countless nightmares over the past few days. Bro is trauma dumping right now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay, the man deserves it. I just ran halfway across Musustafu, and I'm both physically and mentally exhausted, but you know what? Midoriya asks as a tired smirk tugs at his lips. It'll all be worth it if I get to kick your
ass.
This time, Izuku is the one to charge at the man, broom raised like a bat in a way that sends the kidnapper ducking down one of the aisles. His impromptu weapon slams into one of the shelves, scattering bags of chips across the floor. Midoriya adjusts his grip on the broom as he moves into the narrow aisle to follow the man. The kidnapper grabs something off a nearby shelf and throws a box of instant rice at the boy that Izuku easily dodges before rushing towards the attacker. He feints with the broom and he faints with the broom and instead since it's out.
To a sidekick.
And instead. Whoa! And instead sends his foot out into a sidekick that makes contact with the man's chest, the impact sending air rushing from his lungs. Midoriya makes to pull away, but finds his foot caught between the kidnapper's arms. His hands wrap around the boy's ankle. It only takes a few moments for the boy to recognize the burning heat that's radiating from the man's palms. There's a twisted grin pulling at his lips that mutates into one of Bakugo's at the sensation of the searing heat on Izuku's skin. It doesn't help that the man's eyes are a similar dark vermilion. Believe that you'll be born with a quirk in the next life, and take a swan dive off the roof.
There's a spike of fear that shoots through him, freezing his limbs despite the non-stop signals howling at him to pull away. Pull away! Somewhere he registers the flashing red lights of a police car reflecting off the window, shaking him out of his panic. He's not like... He's not Katsuki. He's not...
Okay. You know what? You
say that
yeah.
sentence.
He's not Katsuki.
What? What?
He's not Katsuki. Wait. Katsuki. Bakugo Katsuki.
Katsuki.
You know what? No, that was not any better.
No, that was purposeful.
Yeah, Katsuki. Katsuki.
He's not Katsuki. Midoriya grits his teeth. Katsuki's quirk burns hotter. Ooh, got him.
Ooh, got him.
Ooh, okay. The broom is still in his hands, but the villain doesn't seem to register as a threat as the palms gripping his ankle grow harder. It's a sloppy swing with the fear in his throat, but it manages to catch the man in the temple, and his grip on the boy loosens enough for Izuku to break free. The 15-year-old twists out the hold, and delivers back. Side... wait.
Oh my god.
And he stretched.
Yeah,
I laughed and it pulled something like in my ribs. What am I?
Serious?
What does that mean? And delivers back sidekick.
It shouldn't mean that. That's a typo.
What? Okay. Twists out the hold.
Not the back sidekick.
Delivers back sidekick to the man's chin. He stumbles back. That's why it's a back sidekick. Clutching his jaw. And Midoriya takes the opportunity to discard the broom and charge the attacker. Izuku's hands wrap around the back of the man's neck, pulling him down and driving a knee into his unguarded stomach. Midoriya drops his hold when the brunette hunches over. If I see greenette in this fic,
there's
I'm
not.
There's
not. And there's no greenette. It's only actual colors. I promise. Otherwise, it's the green-haired boy, it's the lilac-haired boy. Like, don't even talk to me.
Lilac.
Don't even talk to me. You
Lilac
won't catch me.
Okay.
Oh, the purple. The pink.
The blonde Ed.
Oh, the blonde Ed is cool.
It's just blonde, but the blondette is funny.
Mm-hmm.
The boy takes advantage of his prone position and uses it to hurl him onto the tiled floor, stomach first. Izuku quickly jerks one arm into a hammerlock while he pins the other hand to the ground with a foot, careful to avoid the kidnapper's heated palms. He can hear someone pounding on the doors and sees the cashier, cradling Amy to her chest, sprint through his peripheral towards the entrance. Ugh, I did bad that sentence.
Lol.
Lol XD. Two officers rush. Two officers rush to his aid. And Midoriya warns them of the man's quirk as they take his place and lock a pair of quirk-suppressing cuffs around his wrists. Izuku watches as the two drag him out to the police car outside, shoving the man into the back seat. Another car pulls up behind them, two more officers stepping out. One of the original cops point them in his direction. There's a female officer that breaks away to talk with Amy and the cashier, and a man with two small horns. Avery, where were you? That approaches Midoriya.
For those who don't know, Avery was my beta. My beta reader.
Apparently was absent this chapter. Or just thought it would be funny.
And man.
And man with two small horns that approaches Midoriya. My name is Officer Fujimori. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions? That man, Izuku states instead, eyes glued to the police car. He'll probably need medical treatment. Okay. Okay. Now that everything's over, Izuku feels his hands start to shake. He shoves them in his pockets, shifting from foot to foot. The officer arches a brow. I didn't know what his quirk was, so I couldn't afford to pull any punches. At the very least, he'll have some painful bruising to remember me by. Okay. The call we got says that you two were fighting. Were you injured? And Midoriya sends a furtive?
I always pronounce it in my head as furtive, but I don't think that's how it is. Furtive. Okay. Hold on.
Midoriya sends a furtive glance down at his ankle. There are two bright red handprints circling the base, but he doesn't think they'll even blister. No. I'll read the next little short thing, too. The police escort him and Amy back to the nearby station, where a frantic Inko arrives half an hour later. Amy had already been reunited with her actual father, the man having shown up earlier in a complete state of disarray before the two of them were swept into an interrogation room for privacy. He'd been running through a few details with Officer Fujimori in a different interrogation room when his mother barges in, and, forgoing all formalities, wraps him in a tight hug the moment she's close enough. Midoriya can feel the fabric on his shoulder dampen. If the same thing happens to her shirt, no one mentions it. They don't get back until well after dinner, though his stomach never signals its arrival. Too rent with nerves to notice. Is that an actual saying?
I don't know.
Too rent with nerves to notice.
I'm gonna Google this. Hold on.
What does it mean? His stomach never signals its arrival? His stomach is arriving?
Wait, hold on, wait.
What does that mean?
Wait, where is it? Oh, the dinner's arrival. They don't get back until well after dinner, though his stomach never signals arrival.
That doesn't make any sense.
Basically, he's saying he never gets hungry. Well,
I don't like that sentence.
I typed in rent with nerves, and all that's coming up is rental anxiety.
To rent with nerves.
Meaning, I'm looking up the definition of rent. Okay.
Wrenched, maybe?
Rent, a large tear in a piece of fabric.
Nope.
An opening or gap resembling a tear in a piece of fabric.
I did not know that definition of the word rent.
Yeah, like, usually it's like the sky was rent asunder or something like that.
Bro was trying
You know?
to be Shakespeare.
I was trying. I was trying.
Okay.
I think I missed.
Inko saves whatever words she might have had for him, and instead merely watches as the boy slips into his room for the night and collapses into bed. He's still wearing the same clothes, and the burns on his ankle throb uncomfortably in time to his heartbeat. But he's completely drained. All of his adrenaline having finally sizzled out, leaving him as an empty husk. For once, he's too exhausted. Dream of anything. Hey. You're missing
Too
something
exhausted
there.
dream of anything is crazy.
For once, he's too exhausted to dream of anything. Popcorn, clap, clap.
Oh my god. Clap, clap. Am I reading to the end?
If you'd like.
I guess. Oh no.
Immediately, bro.
He wakes up, his phone ringing on nightstand.
On the nightstand. It has the.
Wait. He wakes up, his phone ringing on the. Wait.
You're missing a comma or a 2.
I'm just missing a comma.
Yeah, either or.
I think it's a comma. I don't think I was very good at commas yet. It was 2018.
Okay.
He wakes up, his phone ringing on the nightstand. It's Friday, and from the sunlight streaming through his windows, too early. He can hear Inko down the hall, the woman getting ready for work from the sound of it. He doesn't even check the caller ID before silencing it and quickly falling back asleep. Brother, why did I think that was Rayo calling him?
Girl. That's not Rayo, that's Rayo.
We got a few chapters. We still go. I'll kill you.
Teehee, teehee, teehee.
I will rent you asunder.
Whoa!
Whoa. Oh my gosh. Oh. When his phone rings for the second time that morning, throw it out the window and pick the first person that tries to pick up its remains. Okay. He doesn't. But when the third call starts coming through, waking him for the third time, he does decline the call and slam it ruthlessly down on his nightstand. The next time he hears a phone... You know what? I bet that's you whenever I try to call. The clapping? Yeah, that's an agreement. The next time he hears a phone ring, it's from Inko's cell phone a few minutes later. Oh! Chi-san! Oh, Chi-san! I meant to... Don't womp 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 me. I meant to call you the other day and completely forgot. Don't womp 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 me! There's a pause. No, he's not been sick, it's that... His mother sighs, voice notably quieter. What has happened? He got a letter from UA the other day. They're not allowing him to try for the course he wanted, so he's been... Well, he's been as good as can be expected. Just yesterday, Midoriya rolls over to face the wall. His bed creaking with the movement. He pulls a pillow over his ears and closes his eyes against the primary colors of the fading All Might posters. He doesn't want to listen anymore. Doesn't want to think. And here he'd almost forgotten about the rejection letter rotting in his desk drawer. His phone buzzes beside him on his nightstand and he rolls over, ready to actually throw it out the window this time before he sees the alert. There's 3 missed calls from Chi-sensei, a few concerned texts from his dojo classmates, and at the top, a pop-up notification from one of the news hero sites he follows. Vigilante Knuckle Duster stops He stares at the headline for a moment before tapping on it, opening the link. Vigilante Knuckle Duster stops bank robbery. Knuckle Duster, a relatively well-known vigilante, saves the lives of 8 civilians after a villain with an electricity quirk attempted to rob a bank. Witnesses say that no heroes had yet to arrive on scene when the vigilante appeared, easily taking out the culprit after a short fight following the villain's attempt to take several men, women, and children hostage. The culprit, Suzuki Akira, has been previously involved in several other robberies in which 2 civilians lost their lives. Local law enforcement did not comment on the vigilante's heroic actions, only stating that they were glad no civilians had been seriously injured. Izuku blinks, eyes flickering back up to the first sentence, gaze catching again on that word, vigilante. He hears a whisper in the back of his mind. Gray, are you ready? Gray, are you ready? It's my turn.
Whoa. Whoa.
He's not my daddy.
Oh.
Took me from my daddy. We'll get everything sorted, yeah? Well-known vigilante saves the lives of 8 civilians. You're gonna regret doing that. Am I? We're glad no civilians were seriously injured. You did a good job, kid, Officer Fujimori tells him. They're both leaned back against a wall, waiting for Midoriya's mother to finish up any formalities. Things could have gone much worse if you hadn't been there when you were, and if you hadn't done what you did. Izuku watches as his mother signs something at one of the detectives' desks. You'd be a great hero, kid. The words leave a bitter taste in the back of Midoriya's mouth. I'd make a good hero, he thinks. If only someone would give me the chance. Midoriya doesn't remember his lungs stopping. Doesn't remember his hands clenching in a white-knuckled grip around his phone. Doesn't remember when sun in his chest reignites.
I love it.
There's only the understanding that it's back. Small and flickering, but there. Tears spring unbidden from Izuku's eyes as he grips the fabric over his heart. Inko comes rushing into his room at the sound of the sob that breaks past his lips, her phone hanging loosely in her hand. Izuku? She mutters. I'm sorry, Chi-san. I'll call you back later. Into the speaker before she ends the call and drops the phone on the floor. Then Inko's across the room before he blinks, wrapping Izuku into a tight embrace reminiscent of last night. She mistakes the shaking of his shoulders as sobs, and his tears for ones of desperation. He lets out a warbled laugh into her shoulder, one that sounds more like a cry, and Inko holds him tighter. He laughs as he cries because his heart is finally back. He hadn't really thought about saving that girl, hadn't thought about what doing so had meant, but he had saved someone, protected them. He'd defeated a villain using his own power, had done something no one else believed he could do. He'd been a hero to that girl. If UA wouldn't give him a chance, then the solution seems simple. He'd give himself one. He'd force the world to see him, force them to recognize his hard work. He wasn't missing a quirk. It was simply that everyone else had been given an advantage. He wasn't broken or useless or incapable, and he'd prove it by outrunning all of them. He who was quirkless. He who had started in last.
Whoa! Summary mention. Also, I think the author's note explains why there are so many typos. You get to say it. You get to always say author's notes.
In notes. So I got excited and posted early. Thank you for all the support in the first chapter. It really surprised me. Until next week, for real this time.
Yeah. I think.
Actually, I don't think that's why. Because when I was first writing Piper, I had my rule.
You already had a lot done, didn't you?
I told myself I had to finish 5 chapters before I posted anything. So.
How often, like, when did Avery proofread? I
I genuinely don't remember. I 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 don't the beginning of Piper, like on the back end. Like I remember like flashes of like actually writing it, but I don't remember discussing it. Yeah, oh my god.
Yeah.
Chapter 2.
Chapter 2 is
On the Piper
donezo.
6th year anniversary.
All 5k plus words of that.
Oh yeah, I posted this the day after the first one.
Girl.
There's a
You're
there's a
so...
comment. The first comment says, "You show Mizuku awesome stuff from May 15th." The day after. I got a little excited. I got excited, okay? I got excited.
That boy is zooming. That's my genuine thought.
Whoa. Oh my gosh, Quirty224. I know you.
Whoa.
I remember you always. Always and forever. Real one. What?
I know what you are.
You mean you know what I am?
You're a loser.
Okay, well you're friends with a loser.
Nuh-uh.
You're the same person. This is
Nuh-uh.
cohabitation.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
The duo?
We are the only duo to ever exist as a duo.
The bond.
The bond.
The bond. Okay.
This is the bond.
The
Bringing
bond.
you.
There's no duo doing it like
us.
the duo.
Yeah.
No duo doing it like the duo. No duo doing duo. Duolingo.
You're so right.
Duo.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're so right.
That he outran Inchimium, the pro hero known for his speed. Well, dang, Izuku XD. Wonder how Tim feels about that. Yeah.
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 Yeah, so true.
I thought I was so slick. I was like, oh yeah, the crowd. Of course he wouldn't be able to run fast. Like, obviously Izuku has the advantage. Brother. Oh. We should have like an outro.
That's too that's too much to ask for in one day. We already came up with an intro.
But like, think about it. Like, just like, this has been Pied Piper Podcasting. See you next week. Or like,
Light it up Tuesday.
Like,
oh, Tuesday, light me up. See you next Tuesday, light me up.
I'm great. No.
No, you can't do this 2 times in a row. That's just fake.
That's just I'm fake. Not even
That's
joking.
Fake. That's fake. You're fake.
I'm
You're faking it. You're faking faker who fakes.
I'm not. They're gray.
Yes.
They're gray.
A nerd.
Who am I? They're
She's the author.
And they're my co-host. And this has been Pied Piper Podcasting. Whoa!